class 7th. Now, moving towards our today's first topic, that is about the reforms which Akbar brought in the army. Okay, first thing, being a king, army was very important. So Akbar wanted a well-trained army. Okay, a well-trained army. For that purpose, before Akbar, there was such an army which was known as under Jagir system. Okay, in this system, which was Jagir system, all the officers, all the army men were given land grants. जब भी वो कोई अच्छा काम करते तो in return उन्हें land grant कर दी जाती, ज़मीन property दे दी जाती कि you have won against a rebellion, so this is your gift. As a gift उनको land grants दी जाती. इसको जागीर system कहते थे. Akbar was not in favor of this. He did not like this system. So what he introduced a new system which was known as Mansabdari system. So this was introduced by Akbar, Mansabdari system. Mansabdari system means Mansab mean giving a rank, giving a position. Okay, so is what was in this system? First thing in this system was that nobles or the commanders were given ranks. उनको बता दिया जाता था that you are on the top position, then the second, then the third, then the lowest one. Okay, second thing was all these officers were appointed by Akbar. They were appointed. Okay, they were not selected, they were appointed by Akbar. And all these officers were also paid by the government. ये jobs करते थे in a manner कि जिनको salary दी जाती थी for their duty, for their job. They were not given any land grants like the old Jagir system. इस सिस्टम के अंदर, जो कि मनसबदारी सिस्टम था, इन लोगों का अपॉइंटमेंट होता था और सारे कमांडर्स का, आर्मी ऑफिशियल्स का, इनको रैंक्स मिलते थे और इनको सैलरी मिलती थी. And all these nobles, all these commanders can recruit, equip or train other soldiers. किसने कितने soldiers रखने हैं was also here, that the lowest noble, this is the lowest rank, can maintain up to 10 people army. Okay, lowest noble अपने पास 10 soldiers रख सकता था. Second was chief and important nobles. Chief and important nobles can maintain the army of 5,000 soldiers. Okay, and on the top was the royal princes. These princes can maintain up to 10,000 soldiers. So first one was lowest noble जो 10 soldier रख सकता था. Second was the chief or important noble जो 5,000 soldier रख सकता था. And the third can maintain, which who are generally royal princes, can recruit or train, equip 10,000 soldiers. So this is the Mansabdari system which was introduced by Akbar to keep check on his army. Every year they had to parade before Akbar. Okay, every year all this army had to parade before Akbar. They were always ready for the battle. They took oath of loyalty for Akbar, sincerity to the Akbar, and in this way the army of Akbar was very efficient, well trained and equipped, and they were ready to go on a war in a moment's notice. आपके पास ये सारे हर वक्त, if these people are trained, present there with their chiefs, royal princes or lowest nobles, and when an emperor needs this army, you just need to call them. Okay, so it means that army was ready to go to war at a moment's notice. Within seconds आपके लिए army तैयार हो सकती थी. So these were the reforms brought by Akbar during his rule. एंड एज आई टोल्ड यू, उसको वेल ट्रेंड आर्मी चाहिए थी और सिंसियर लोग चाहिए थे, लॉयल. तो उसने जागीर सिस्टम ख़त्म कर दिया. ये वो सिस्टम था जिसमें ऑफिसर्स को सैलरी नहीं मिलती थी. जब भी वो कोई अच्छा काम करते थे तो उनको लैंड ग्रांट्स मिलती थी. ओके, सो उसने क्या इंट्रोड्यूस करवाया? मनसबदारी सिस्टम इंट्रोड्यूस करवाया. मनसबदारी सिस्टम में सबसे इंपॉर्टेंट ये था कि इसमें रैंक्स थे. अकबर खुद अपॉइंटमेंट करता था, उनको सैलरीज पे की जाती थी और वो जो सोल्जर्स थे उनको रिक्रूट, इक्विप और ट्रेन किया जाता था. और ये 3 कैटेगरीज थी, रैंक्स थे जिनमें आप सोल्जर्स रख सकते थे. लोएस्ट नोबल 10 लोग रख सकता था, 10 सोल्जर. चीफ जो थे और इम्पोर्टेंट नोबल्स वो 5,000 सोल्जर्स, रॉयल प्रिंसेस जो थे वो 10,000 सोल्जर्स रख सकते थे, और इन सबको एवरी ईयर परेड करना होता था बिफोर अकबर, ओथ लेनी होती थी लॉयल्टी की फॉर अकबर, एंड वो सारा टाइम्स बहुत एफिशिएंट आर्मी थी, एंड दे वर रेडी टू गो टू वॉर एट अ मोमेंट नोटिस. Okay, seventh class. Now moving towards our second topic of the day, that is administration and justice, which is on page 82 of your book. As Akbar made reforms, Akbar made changes in army. The other department in which he brought changes, in which he brought reforms, was administration and justice, which mean how to govern the country. Okay, so for that purpose, first thing which Akbar did was that he divided his empire into 15 provinces. India was a huge empire, and he occupied more and more territories during his rule, and the empire was so big that he divided his empire into 15 provinces to make the administration easy. Okay, instead of ruling the whole empire by himself, although he was the ruler, he was the king, but he wanted to divide the whole India into 15 provinces. And after dividing that India into 15 provinces, what Akbar did was that he appointed governors. Okay, he appointed governors. These governors of these 15 provinces, there were 15 governors. These governors were paid by the emperor. Okay, इनको सैलरी मिलती थी बाय द एम्परर. These governors were responsible to the emperor for the general running of the province. Okay, the purpose of appointing these governor was that their duty was to check the running of the province, to govern the province. Okay, and also the other duty was to check law and order situation, and to keep an eye on the whole administration. Okay, so these were the duties of the governor. He divided his state into 15 province, and all these 15 provinces were under the governors. हर province का एक governor होता था, और उसकी duty थी कि वो पूरा administration को look after करे, जो भी उसका under province hota tha. Understand? Now, Akbar, another thing which Akbar did was that he appointed judges, okay, and to deal with the criminal cases, especially. And Muslims were under Sharia law. They were treated by, they were, for the Muslims of India, civil cases were dealt by the Sharia law, and Hindus, they have their own juries, okay, according to their religion, according to their caste. Understand? So the first thing was appointment of the governor and division of the whole empire into 15 province. The second thing which he did was that he opened courts. Criminal cases का separate, civil cases के लिए separate. Criminal cases के लिए भी judges को appoint किया, and civil cases के लिए, because there were various communities living in India at that time, Muslims and Hindus. Muslims के लिए Sharia law according to their religion, and Hindus के लिए their own juries according to their caste. Another thing which he did was that he appointed tax officials. These tax officials were responsible directly to the emperor and not to the governor. इन टैक्स ऑफिशियल्स को उसने अपॉइंट किया, और ये एम्परर के अंडर थे, अकबर के अंडर थे, गवर्नर के अंडर नहीं थे. ओके, द पर्पस वाज दैट गवर्नर डिड नॉट हैव द मनी. टैक्स कलेक्ट किया, गवर्नर को नहीं देना, किसको देना है? किंग को देना है. इसका पर्पस ये था that there should be no corruption. Okay, so these tax officials did not have the soldiers to rebel, because अगर इन tax officials के पास money collection है और money ज़्यादा हो जाता है and they wanted to keep the money with them, so उनके पास soldiers कोई नहीं है कि वो emperor के against rebellion करें. Plus another thing was that Akbar used to transfer these officials from region to region. The purpose of transfer was to prevent them from establishing a power base in one region. उसका transfer का purpose ये था कि अगर एक जगह पे एक tax official काम कर रहा है, for example this is a region, यहाँ पे एक tax official है, तो इसको transfer किया जाता था to any other region. The purpose of this transfer was that while having their office in this region, वो किसी तरह की पावर बेस ना बना ले, स्ट्रॉन्ग ना हो जाए और रिबेल नहीं करे इन फ्यूचर में अगेंस्ट द किंग हु वाज अकबर. सो दिस वाज द एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन जिसमें उसने अपने एम्पायर को 15 प्रोविंसेस में डिवाइड किया, गवर्नर्स अपॉइंट किए, जजेस अपॉइंट किए, क्रिमिनल केसेस जैसा क्रिमिनल कोर्ट्स ओपन की, सिविल कोर्ट्स की जिनमें अकॉर्डिंग टू मुस्लिम शरिया लॉ एंड हिंदूज बाय देयर ओन ज्यूरीज. टैक्स ऑफिशियल्स अपॉइंट किए अंडर द एम्पर, नॉट अंडर द गवर्नर. द पर्पज ऑफ दिस वॉज that in this way the money should be given to the emperor directly and less chances of corruption were there. इन टैक्स ऑफिशियल्स को ट्रांसफ़र भी किया जाता था. पर्पज़ ये था कि वो एक रीजन में अपना पावर बेस ना बना लें और स्ट्रॉन्ग ना हो जाएं अगेंस्ट अकबर. सो दिस वाज द एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन ऑफ द एंड जस्टिस ऑफ द अकबर. Well, seventh class, money is another department जिसमें अकबर ने काम किया. Next topic is money. Money was basically related to trade. Akbar knew that he needed plenty of money because he started such an army, he opened such an institution in administration like tax officials. For that purpose, he needed money, plenty of money, because money was needed because to pay salaries to the army officials, to the tax officials, to the governors. Okay, जैसे अभी हम पीछे पढ़ के आए कि आर्मी भी उसकी पेड थी. उसने जागीर सिस्टम ख़त्म कर दिया था, मनसबदारी सिस्टम इंट्रोड्यूस हो गया था जिसमें ऑफिशियल सारे पेड थे, कमांडर्स. देन अगेन ही अपॉइंटेड गवर्नर्स जिनको सैलरी देनी थी, अगेन ही अपॉइंटेड टैक्स ऑफिशियल्स जिनको सैलरी देनी थी. सो फॉर दैट पर्पज़ अकबर नीडेड मनी. ओके, एंड मनी कहाँ से आएगा फॉर टू पे दिस मनी टू द आर्मी एंड ऑल द ऑफिशियल्स? ही नीडेड टैक्सेस. Okay, every government needs tax to pay salaries. So he imposed taxes, and by the collection of revenue, by the collection of taxes, he can pay salaries. These taxes at that time, because there were no industries, so at that time he collected these taxes from the crops, because they only had agriculture at that time, ऑन क्रॉप्स एंड बेसिकली ऑन लैंड. ये दोनों रिसोर्सेज थे जहाँ से अगर कोई क्रॉप ग्रो करता है तो टैक्स पे करेगा, अगर कोई लैंड ओनर है तो टैक्स पे करेगा, और जब टैक्स पे होगा तो गवर्नमेंट के पास मनी आएगा जिससे लोगों को सैलरीज मिलेंगी. ओके, सो फर्स्ट थिंग विच ही डिड वॉज दैट इन डेली most of the lands which were especially in Delhi area, all these lands were taken by the government. So जो भी प्रॉफिट आएगा वो गवर्नमेंट को मिलेगा. एंड एट दैट टाइम फॉर कलेक्शन ऑफ मोर एंड मोर टैक्सेस जो स्टेप्स उसने लिए, लाइक दिस फील्ड्स वर रीमयर्ड एंड क्रॉप्स ऑफ ईच एरिया वर रिकॉर्डेड बाय नेम. इसका पर्पस ये था कि पता चल जाए कि कौन सा फील्ड कितने, टोटल एरिया कितना है, और फिर अकॉर्डिंग टू दैट एरिया उसके अंदर जो क्रॉप लगता है, बाय नेम कॉटन है, शुगर है, इट शुड बी रिकॉर्डेड. सो बेसिकली ही मेंटेन्ड द रिकॉर्ड. ओके, रिकॉर्ड होगा तो गवर्नमेंट को इज अवेयर ऑफ ईच एंड एवरीथिंग एंड कैन ईजिली कलेक्ट टैक्स. इफ़ देयर वर नो रिकॉर्ड्स तो फिर उसके लिए टैक्स कलेक्ट करना बहुत डिफिकल्ट था. फॉर दैट पर्पज़ उसने सारे टैक्स डिपार्टमेंट को मैनेज किया and reorganize किया, and he remired the fields, and crops of those fields at that time were also recorded by name. The people were then taxed 1/3 to the value of the crop, okay, instead of 1/2 in the past. इससे पहले लोग कितना टैक्स देते थे? जितना क्रॉप हुआ उसका हाफ ऑफ दैट, लेकिन इसने टैक्स का वैल्यू कम कर दिया और people were paying at that time 1/3 of the value of the crop. Okay, this was a good step. Instead of increasing taxes, he decreased tax for the purpose that more and more tax should be paid. Okay, money was given directly to the treasury. इसमें गवर्नर इन्वॉल्व नहीं है. सो द पर्पज ऑफ दिस वॉज टू प्रिवेंट करप्शन. दीज ऑफिशियल्स एक्टेड एज एडवाइजर्स टू द फार्मर्स एंड इनकरेज देम टू ग्रो न्यू हाई वैल्यू क्रॉप्स. ओके, जितने भी एडवाइजर्स थे उनका पर्पज़ ये था कि वो पेजेंट्स को, फार्मर्स को बताएं टू ग्रो कैश क्रॉप्स लाइक शुगर, cotton, maize and indigo. Okay, these were high value crops, and the purpose of this was to increase profit. If farmer is getting more profit, then he is going to pay tax. In this manner, government is going to collect more tax, and if they have more tax, they will have more money, and if they will have money, they can pay the salaries. Okay, so for that purpose, Akbar appointed advisors to advise the farmers to the peasants to grow such crops which are high value, जिनको grow करने के बाद वो ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा earn कर सकें. Plus, to increase the trade activity, Akbar built new roads with trees, rest houses, and wells. Okay, and when there was involvement of more and more money, this ended the bartering system. This ended the bartering system in trade. New mints to make gold, silver, and copper coin. If there was a need of money, it means कि उसने मिंट्स, जैसे फर्नेसेस होती हैं, भट्टियाँ होती हैं जिनके अंदर कॉपर कॉइन, गोल्ड और सिल्वर बनते हैं, सो ही बिल्ड सच मिंट्स, so coins were more and more coins should be uh, there. Okay, next thing which he did was banks were introduced, money lenders were there, they began to appear, क्योंकि अगर पैसे होंगे तो you need to keep that money into the bank, and if there was trade activities, then there should be money lenders जो loans दे सकें. Because of this activity, much of this banking system and money lending was run by the Hindu merchant class, because they had money, so they started this by giving loans to the people. So a new class emerged, a new strong Hindu middle class emerged, evolved, especially in the city, जिनको क्या कहते थे, they were known as Hindu मर्चेंट्स. ये वो क्लास थी जो ग्रेजुअली रिच होती गई, क्योंकि जब ये लोन्स देते थे तो प्रॉफिट के साथ अपने लोन को वापस लेते थे. ओके, सो दीज वर द रिफॉर्म्स ब्रॉट बाय अकबर इन द डिपार्टमेंट ऑफ मनी. आई रिपीट हियर अगेन, अकबर को ज़्यादा मनी चाहिए था जो उसने टैक्स से कलेक्ट करना था. टैक्सेस कैसे आने थे, ताकि पूरी सिस्टम रिकॉर्ड बने. रिकॉर्ड उसने किया, फील्ड्स को रीमायर किया, क्रॉप्स को नेम किया, रिकॉर्ड किया, टैक्स उसने रिड्यूस कर दिया, 1/3 कर दिया. पर्पस रिडक्शन का ये था, जो हाफ ऑफ द टैक्स है वो लोग नहीं पे करते थे, तो उसने टैक्स रिड्यूस कर दिया ताकि ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा पे किया जाए. ओके, मनी डायरेक्टली इन्वॉल्व था, ट्रेजरी में डायरेक्ट जाता था करप्शन के चांसेस कम करने के लिए, और ऑफिसर्स इसमें इन्वॉल्व नहीं थे. पेजेंट्स को उसने बताया कि कौन कौन सी क्रॉप्स ग्रो करनी है ताकि उनको ज़्यादा प्रॉफिट हो, ज़्यादा प्रॉफिट होगा तो ज़्यादा टैक्स पे किया जाएगा. बार्टरिंग का सिस्टम ख़त्म हो गया, मनी इंट्रोड्यूस हुआ तो न्यू मिंट्स बिल्ड किए उसने, न्यू रोड्स किए, रेस्ट हाउसेस किए, वेल्स किए ऑन द वे, ऑन द रोड. बैंक्स स्टार्ट हो गए, मनी लेंडर्स वर देयर, और इस बैंकिंग और मनी लेंडर्स की वजह से न्यू मर्चेंट क्लास, हिंदू मर्चेंट क्लास emerged, which was later on became a very strong Hindu middle class. So this was about the money reforms brought by Akbar. Seventh class, this is our today's topic, the reforms brought by Akbar in the religion. Okay, Akbar was the emperor of India, and you know at that time in India Muslims and Hindus were living together, and Akbar realized that differences in religion caused problem, because people who were Hindus and people who were Muslims, they were not having friendly relation, and there was no peace in the society, and that is why he realized that this difference which is in the religion should be minimized. Okay, so he tried to bring Hindus and Muslims together. This was his effort. He wanted them to live peacefully. He wanted them to live in a very friendly manner. So for that purpose, he encouraged Muslims to marry Rajput women, as he did himself. You know, the wife of Akbar, the first wife of Akbar, Jodha Bai, was a Rajput Hindu princess. Okay, he also encouraged other Muslims to marry Rajput women. Second thing which he did, he forbade the killing of cows. You know, Hindus are still against the killing of cows, but Muslims sacrifice cow, especially on their special occasion, and also slaughter cows for eating. So Akbar forbade the killing of cows. Akbar के time में उसने मना कर दिया कि cows की killing नहीं होगी. And he also abolished jizya, which was tax on the Hindu pilgrimage. All these things were done by Akbar to please Hindus. Okay, these things were done by Akbar ताकि Hindus खुश हों. पहली चीज़ which he did, he asked Muslims कि वो Hindu Rajput princess के साथ शादी करें. Second was he forbade the killing of cows and as well as abolished the tax which was jizya. Third thing which he did was that the destruction of Hindu temple was a crime. He declared during his rule that if any temple of Hindus was destroyed by the Muslim or any other community, that would be considered as a crime. But before that, जो भी emperor आता था वो Hindu temples को destroy करता था. So this time Akbar made a law, and in that law, if you destroy a Hindu temple, that would be considered as a crime. Hindus were given high positions in government and army, especially the Rajputs. They were given, in this way Rajputs were very powerful, and if they had when they had high position in army and in government administration, they started to use this power against the Muslims, and Muslims felt this unfair treatment. Muslims को लगा कि जो किंग है अकबर, वो किसके लिए काम कर रहा है? हिंदूज के लिए काम कर रहा है, मुस्लिम्स के लिए नहीं काम कर रहा है, एंड ही इज़ मोर फ्रेंडली टूवर्ड्स हिंदूज. दैट इज़ वाई मुस्लिम्स फेल्ट दिस अनफेयर ट्रीटमेंट. जब मुस्लिम्स को ये रियलाइज़ हुआ और अकबर तक ये बात पहुंची, देन अकबर ट्राइड टू brought certain changes even in Hindu religion. He tried to stop sati and child marriages of Hindus. This is a practice in Hindus. Child marriage बहुत common practice है. छोटे छोटे बच्चों की 9-10 साल के बच्चों की शादी कर देते हैं. And sati is a practice which is when if there is a widow, when the husband dies and there is the wife is left behind, she has to be burnt alive with the dead body of the हस्बैंड. ओके, ग्रेजुअली ये सती की ट्रेडिशन चेंज हुई. पहले तो उसको जिंदा ही जला देते थे हस्बैंड की डेड बॉडी के साथ, फिर उसको कुछ चेंजेस आई, फिर उसको सेपरेट कर दिया, लोगों के साथ कांटेक्ट ख़त्म कर देते थे. सो अकबर ट्राई टू स्टॉप दिस ट्रेडिशन ऑफ सती फ्रॉम द हिंदू रिलीजन एंड द चाइल्ड मैरिजेस ऑफ हिंदूज. ही ऑल्सो बैंड द किलिंग ऑफ बेबी गर्ल. दिस इज़ ऑल्सो अ वेरी कॉमन, अ वेरी इल प्रैक्टिस इन हिंदू रिलीजन, दैट दे डू नॉट लाइक बेबी गर्ल्स. Okay, and whenever there is a birth of a baby girl, they used to kill that baby girl. उसको alive कर देते थे, पानी में उसको drown करके या जैसे भी है उसको मार देते थे. So Akbar stopped this killing of baby girl, and he also discouraged animal sacrifices. Akbar was not in favor of animal sacrifices. Mean there is a very common practice in Hindu religion जिसको वो बोलते हैं बलि चढ़ाना. That if your god is angry, if your god is not happy, then you have to sacrifice an animal. लाइक जैसे ग्रीस में और रोम में द ब्यूटीफुल लेडी और द मोस्ट ब्यूटीफुल गर्ल फ्रॉम द टाउन और द विलेज वाज सैक्रिफाइस्ड टू प्लीज़ द गॉड. इन द सेम मैनर हिंदू रिलीजन के अंदर प्रैक्टिस है कि वो एनिमल सैक्रिफाइस करते हैं अपने गॉड्स को खुश करने के लिए. सो ही बैंड द किलिंग ऑफ बेबी गर्ल्स, अकबर, एंड अकबर ऑल्सो डिस्करेज द सैक्रिफाइसेस, एनिमल सैक्रिफाइसेस. सो कुछ काम इसके अंदर अकबर ने वो किए जो जिससे हिंदू खुश हुए, और कुछ काम अकबर ने वो किए जिससे मुस्लिम्स. द पर्पस बिहाइंड दिस वाज टू प्लीज बोथ, टू रिमूव द डिफरेंसेस फ्रॉम द रिलीजन. ही ट्राइड टू ब्रिंग हिंदूज एंड मुस्लिम क्लोज टुगेदर, बट इट इज़ नॉट पॉसिबल बिकॉज बोथ हिंदूज एंड मुस्लिम्स बिलोंग टू डिफरेंट रिलीजन. And although Akbar attempted, he put his effort, but that was not a fruitful effort, जिसका result हम आगे जाके देखेंगे. So these were some of the steps taken by Akbar. Okay class, as we have discussed about the reforms brought by Akbar in religion, now the topic is divine faith. The new capital which was formed by Akbar was Fatehpur Sikri. Okay, this was the new capital, and here he built a hall of worship, a huge hall. He named this place as a hall of worship. The purpose of building this was in this hall of worship there he met with the various Muslim scholars to discuss the Islamic faith and Quran. Okay, the basic purpose was कि Muslim scholars इकट्ठे हों और they can discuss about the Islamic faith and Quran. Later on, Akbar invited other religions here as well, like Hinduism, Jainism, Christianity, Zoroastrianism. All these religions were invited in hall of worship, and they were joined to discuss various things regarding their religion. And while these discussion, they believe that all religions have the same end, and to reach paradise, the same end was to reach paradise. Okay, as you can see here in your book you can see the discussions are all the religions are gathered, and then they are discussing, and then they will take the essence of all the religion and form their new religion. Okay, so in this hall of worship Akbar invited other religions as well. They discussed things, and Akbar concluded that all religions have the same end, and that end was to reach the paradise. चाहे वो हिंदूज हैं, चाहे वो क्रिश्चियन हैं, चाहे वो मुस्लिम्स हैं, चाहे वो ज़ोरास्ट्रियनिज्म है, चाहे वो जैनिज्म है, सब ने कहाँ जाना है एट द एंड? डिफरेंट में. द वेज वर डिफरेंट. In Islam that is a different way, in Hinduism that this was the belief of Akbar. Okay, this is not a general belief, this was the belief of Akbar. In 1582 Akbar introduced a new religion on the base of all these discussions, and the name of that religion which he gave was Deen-e-Ilahi. And he considered that best of all the religions were taken in this deen. Okay, in this जो सब religions का best है वो उसने इस religion में डाल दिया है और एक नया religion बना दिया उसने. अकबर ने ऐसा किया. Okay, and the foundation of this new religion was Allah, Quran, and the teaching of Hazrat Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. In this new religion Akbar said that he is the representative of Allah on earth. You know, we as Muslim believe the representative of Allah on earth are the prophets. Okay, so Akbar said that he is the representative of Allah on earth, and all people had to bow down on the ground before Akbar. It means that it's prostration, ये सजदा करने जैसा हुआ. And you know that Muslims were against this. They were not in favor of this. They believe कि अल्लाह के अलावा हमें किसी को सजदा नहीं करना. लेकिन अकबर कहता था मेरी कोर्ट में जो भी आएगा, मेरे सामने जो भी आएगा, पहले मुझे बो डाउन करेगा, मेरे आगे सजदा करेगा और उसके बाद मेरे से बात करेगा. So very few people joined this new religion, Deen-e-Ilahi. Most of the people were against this religion because it's against Islam. And Akbar returned to Islam after 10 years. दीन-ए-इलाही पे कितना अरसा तक अकबर प्रैक्टिस करता रहा? 10 ईयर तक अकबर ने इसको प्रैक्टिस किया, और आफ्टर 10 ईयर अकबर ने इस रिलीजन को छोड़ दिया जो उसने खुद इंट्रोड्यूस करवाया था. आई रिपीट अगेन द डिवाइन फेथ, जिसमें हॉल ऑफ वर्शिप में पहले मुस्लिम्स को इनवाइट किया जाता था डिस्कशन के लिए, फिर उसने और रिलीजन को भी इनवाइट किया, ज़ोरास्ट्रियनिज्म, हिंदुइज्म, जैनिज्म, क्रिश्चियनिटी, और उन सब का उसने एसेंस ये निकाला कि सारे रिलीजन का ने के एंड में पैराडाइज मिलनी है. और इसके डिफरेंट वेज हैं. आप हिंदुइज्म में और तरह से जाते हैं, इस्लाम में और तरह से. एंड ही इंट्रोड्यूस्ड न्यू रिलीजन नेम्ड एज दीन-ए-इलाही. और इस दीन-ए-इलाही में अकबर ने फाउंडेशंस किसे माना? अल्लाह को, हजूर सल्लम की टीचिंग्स को और कुरान को. लेकिन जो चेंज बहुत बड़ा ड्रास्टिक मेजर गलत चेंज किया वो ये था कि वो ख़ुद को अल्लाह का रिप्रेजेंटेटिव कहता था, और लोगों से ये भी कहता था दैट पीपल नीड टू बो डाउन ऑन द ग्राउंड इन फ्रंट ऑफ हिम. मोस्ट ऑफ द पीपल वर अगेंस्ट दिस न्यू रिलीजन दीन-ए-इलाही, and Akbar returned to real Islam after 10 years. Okay, 7th class, these are the important points of new religion which was introduced by Akbar, named as Deen-e-Ilahi. As I told you in my previous video that he believed that all the religions of the world have the same end. The only thing which is different among all the religions of the world is to get that aim differently, and the aim is to go to the paradise. Okay, so he believed that he collected good things from all the religions and then created this new religion, although this was not right. Okay, the first important point of Deen-e-Ilahi was, as it is written here, one God and one prophet, peace be upon him, Hazur Sallam, and the Quran, because these three are the foundation of his new religion. These three are also the foundation of Islam as well. Okay, true Islam. Akbar as God representative on earth. This is controversial because, as I told you, that representatives of Allah on earth are usually generally prophets. Okay, so Akbar was just a common man. He was just an emperor. He was just a king. Third point is Akbar's statement about religion always right if supported by the Quran. उसका मानना था कि अकबर ऐसा कोई भी स्टेटमेंट देता है, अगर उसको कुरान सपोर्ट करता है तो वो राइट कंसिडर होगा. Then people to bow down before God and Akbar. This means that in Islam all the Muslims have to bow down before Allah and no one else, not even prophets, no one else. Okay, so but here Akbar started a new thing in his new religion, in which prostration. Okay, students of 7th class, these are the important points of new religion introduced by Akbar. In this new religion, Akbar made the foundations one God, one prophet, and the Quran. Then the second point is Akbar as God representative on the earth, which is wrong according to the true belief of Islam, because only the representative of God on the earth are the prophets, and Akbar was not so. Akbar was only an emperor. Okay. Third point is that Akbar was statement about religion always right if supported by Quran. Akbar कुछ भी कहता है और उसको अगर कुरान support करता है तो that would be considered right. People to bow down before God and Akbar, that is the most controversial thing in the new religion introduced by Akbar, that is दीन इलाही. कि जब भी कोई अकबर के कोर्ट में आएगा, अकबर के सामने आएगा, he or she had to bow down before Akbar on the ground. So this is not right, because in Islam this is only right for Allah. Okay, then the tolerance for all the religion, which means that there were various communities living in India, and Hindu, Muslim, Sikh, Parsi, Jainism, Zoroastrianism. So all people should live together with tolerance and peacefully. All religions have same good characteristics, because he made a hall of worship in that he discussed all the points of all the religion with various scholars, and he believed that सारे religion एक जैसे होते हैं. सब religion का end ये है कि लोगों को paradise में जाना है. Okay, so these are the important points of दीन इलाही.